Hi, it's Ian from the Postal Hub podcast,
And Marek from Last Mile Experts.
and we are the Last Mile Prophets. This is the last word on the last mile. Marek, Amazon in Turkey is launching Amazon Prime, and we did have a discussion not that long ago about Eastern Europe, and we even threw in the Turkish e-commerce scene there. Whilst Amazon's been in Turkey for 2 years now, is that right?
Yeah, something like that. End part of 2018 they came in.
And now is launching Amazon Prime. And just so with people, well, let's just give people a quick overview of how it's going to work in Turkey. So there's going to be a minimum purchase of about, what was it again?
Yeah, I think it was €5.5 roughly. 50 lira.
And then there's going to be a network of, I don't know how widely spread Prime
Well,
will
yeah,
be.
this is the thing, Ian. It's only this classic Amazon where they're making a big announcement, but actually it's available in 3 cities.
Right. Right. Okay. But it'd be similar to somewhere like Australia. There's a limit as to how widely you might be able to offer some features of Prime. Now, Amazon Prime is not just about delivery. It's the same in Turkey. They've launched other products as well.
Yeah, they've got a basic package. It doesn't look to be, from what I can see, as wide as some of the others. I get, because knowing Amazon, when they say TV shows, movies, and
Yeah.
much more, means there isn't much more.
There isn't
Because
much more.
much more knowing
Well,
Amazon.
look, they do
Iterate
great
every
PR.
item.
They do great PR. You've got to hand Amazon. You've got to take your hat off to Amazon for doing great PR. What about, though, the rest of the e-commerce and the delivery market? So who's already out there doing e-commerce, who might be doing something similar to Prime or doing fast delivery or delivering all these sorts of promises that Amazon's usually first in the market to do?
Well, this is the thing, and this is why I think this is an interesting one to talk about. Apart from that, I like Turkey, so it's nice to talk about it. There's a dichotomy. On one hand, you've got at least two very large e-commerce players. One, Trendyol, which is partly owned by Alibaba, and the other one's called Hepsi Burada, with something called Hepsi Express, I think. And these guys have already set up their Amazon logistics type initiatives and have been around for a while. So on one hand, you've got pretty innovative e-commerce players who are really trying to improve the customer experience, doing customer-centric things like same-day delivery, etc. On the other hand, you've got a market that is really, I'd say, I won't say in the Middle Ages, but the courier market is pretty dated. And there's an interesting story there. So, there's a friend of mine, very smart guy called Aslan Kut, who basically set up all the courier companies in Turkey. So one by one, he went from company A, set it up, then company B, then company C. And surprise, surprise, if you look at all the Turkish courier companies, the model is almost identical. So on that basis, it's a really interesting market, I think, to look at. Things are going to happen. And I reckon that what's interesting about this is it's going to push development in the market.
I think that's an interesting point about pushing development in the market. Will this mean? Well, let's talk about it. Everybody knows we're going to mention it sooner or later. Parcel lockers. What's going to happen there with out of home delivery, or is it a traditional kind of delivery environment where people expect delivery to the home, or are there cultural issues about who you can deliver to in the family, for example?
Well, Ian, listen to this, because this is incredible. Turkey is a big country. I'm not sure what exactly the population is, but it's got to be around 70 million, isn't it? It's going to be something that's big. They have almost no kudos and almost no lockers. So that's point one. Point two, these super smart guys with the e-commerce players, and well, I'm a little bit biased because I'm working with Trendyol, so these are particularly super smart guys, all the Trendyol colleagues watching. Of course, they're going to be looking at this sort of space. I think there's about 3 Turkish locker companies who are basically sharpening their teeth for what's going to be coming. And I think, if we have a call in 6 months' time, it could be a very different world. And in 1.5 years' time, even more so. But I think what is interesting here is Amazon actually, without offering too much, is trying to seize the high ground, because I think they can see what is happening at Trendyol and the other players. And they want to put their stake in the ground, as it were.
You mentioned Alibaba before being active. Was it via a stake?
Yeah, they have a stake in Trendyol.
Right, so they've got a stake in Trendyol. Amazon is getting in here. So is this one of the first battlegrounds where the two e-commerce giants are going to go head to head, or am I reading too much into it?
No, I think this is exactly it. Indirectly, that's exactly what's happening, and it's going to be very interesting to observe how this one plays out. And I think there could be learnings. This market is a little bit in between because in fact, Turkey is part in Asia, part in Europe. So it's a little bit of a stepping stone. It'll be interesting to see what the learnings are there.
Especially if
Um,
there are no parcel lockers nearby.
Especially if
So
there are no lockers yet nearby. So, I'd say let's observe, let's see how this pans out. But this could be the first part of a steep learning curve for Alibaba in terms of how to fight it out, as it were, with Amazon on even turf, certainly in terms of the last mile.
just on while we're talking about the market in Turkey, I'll put my hand up and say I'm a little bit ignorant about the entire the market, the delivery market in Turkey. We've talked about private operators. There's the Post as well. As the Post, and the Post would have a network of post offices. At least there'd be some sort of a PUDO network. And I'm pretty sure actually that Turkish Post has some parcel lockers. Somebody
Yeah, they had something. I think that there's a company called Ravenma that were doing something with them. I don't think it worked too well or at scale. And Turkish Post, as with many of the very large postal organizations, isn't perhaps the one that's going to be able to move so fast.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's at least one person from Turkish Post who follows my feed and is going to comment below and correct me on exactly what I've got wrong there. But I'm pretty sure that they've been for a few years they have been doing these parcel lockers. But I'm not. I also, again, comment below, people from Turkish Post. Is it carrier agnostic, your parcel locker network, or is it carrier specific? There's something else there.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ian, I actually don't know, but I'll be shocked if it's agnostic. If it is, then I'm going to drink Sheriff Fate to my friends at Turkish Post.
Next question then, Marek, before we run out of time, is going to be about the major international carriers, the likes of FedEx and UPS and DHL. We've talked about the local carriers and their innovative mindset. What about those major carriers? Are they just sort of mucking around at the edges here in Turkey? What are they doing?
Top three are, without a doubt, Yurtici Cargo, with whom I used to work and is now part of the Gearpost group. Aras, where you probably remember there was this long, drawn-out history in courts with Austrian Post.
Austrian Post, of course, which has only
And I
recently
think
been
they've now
resolved.
taken, yeah, they've now taken control. And there's MNG, which is owned by a private equity. There's a fourth one, I can't remember the name, but it's less important than those first three.
So Amazon Prime coming to Turkey, perhaps not going to shake up the marketplace the way it has in other countries, but it could be a foretaste of a battle between the e-commerce giants in Alibaba and Amazon. Marek Krzyzewski, thanks for being on the Last Mile Profits today.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you, everyone.